Hello, I'm in Amsterdam. While I'm away for a 4 to 5 week tour around Holland and Norway, I have pre-recorded a couple of videos that are coming out every Friday for a few Fridays. I think I haven't got one yet for January. But during this trip, I'm hoping to do a few little short videos on what I find where I am. And I'm here in Amsterdam at the moment, and it was a balmy -6 degrees centigrade, warmed up to about 0. Yes, nice and warm, unlike Perth where I left, where it was 35. But first, here's a quick quiz. What is this a picture of? And I'm going to give you the answer a little bit later in the video, so you're going to have to keep watching. Now, the Netherlands has been somewhat proactive in the renewable arena. Electric vehicles are certainly very prevalent here. And from my hotel room, which is, that's the reason the background's pretty terrible, I can see quite a large number of wind turbines. Unfortunately, right in the middle of them, there's 2 stacks going up with a billowing white stuff coming out. And I don't know if it's steam or smoke or what. I could not find out. But it sort of detracts from the fact that they've got all these wind turbines there. Unfortunately, the grid here does have quite a bit of coal, which they're trying to phase out, but the majority of it is from gas-fired power stations. Unfortunate, but there it is. You see, Holland is very flat, so hydropower, not an option. And it's quite population dense for such a small area, so trying to put in large swathes of solar panels and wind farms is also a little bit hard. And added to that, the Dutch do have quite a large gas field in somewhere called, let me just have a look, Groningen. Groningen. They've had to slow down the production of gas from that place, though, because it was causing a few faults in the area. I think they're getting a few earthquakes or something from extracting the gas. They were getting 12.5% of their gas for their power from Russia. Of course, they're not getting any now, so they're having to find a little bit of a replacement for it. Electric vehicles. They're increasing at quite a reasonable rate. Here's a bit of a graph of the growth of electric vehicles, or the sales. They sold in 2021 just over 95,000 electric vehicles. They were registered here in Holland. So that's not too bad. A population of about 17.5 million, I believe. In my walking around Amsterdam over the last couple of days, I've seen a large number of Model 3s from Tesla, and of course that was the commonest vehicle sold here. But I've also seen a large number of Model X's, one of which was actually being used as a taxi. Quite a few Model 3s were also used as taxis. I have also seen some Model X's and 1 or 2 Model S's. But interestingly, I've seen quite a few other vehicles, VW ID4 and an ID5, which is like a fastback version of the ID4. I think it looks quite good. Pity about their software problems. Other EVs I've seen, BMW i3s, because they're quite small and you really need a small car around here. And I do believe I saw a Mustang Mach-E. I'm pretty certain it was. Hadn't seen one of those before. I'm sure there are lots of other brands that I have been looking at and going, oh, I don't know, because where I'm from in Australia, we don't have a large number of electric vehicles, so trying to recognise them is a bit hard. So, I'm sure there's plenty of them around. The one thing that Amsterdam is quite famous for is its bikes. And there are something like 23 million bikes, of which 3 million or so are e-bikes. And they are all over the place here. You keep bumping into them. You can't walk 5 yards without being passed by a person on a bike. And the bike parks are just crammed with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these bikes. So that's quite good. Now, the other thing is the electrification of their public transport system seems to be going quite well. You've got the trams and the trains are all electric. We've been travelling around here on the tram system. Public transport here is just brilliant and very cheap. The trams just about go anywhere. If not, you can get onto the metro and go to a few other places. They've got quite a few electric buses around here. And answer to that question, what was that funny looking light system? It's actually a bus, electric bus refueling point. The bus pulls up underneath, and I saw the driver just edging along looking at something, so he's got a mark on the ground, I presume, and then he hits a button and up goes the connector and the bus recharges. Brilliant. The other thing here in Holland is a lot of cities are planning on banning fossil fuel delivery vehicles within the city limits by 2025. So they're going to have a lot of electric delivery vehicles. Around Amsterdam, I keep, when I'm trying to use Google Maps to navigate me to somewhere, it keeps saying low emission zone. So they've got lots of low emission zones. Now I presume that these are not just electric vehicles, these are low emission or efficient internal combustion engine vehicles. But it's still good that they've got all these low emission zones. I know the centre of London is a low emission zone. So we need that in Australia a bit more, but seeing as we don't yet have the ability to, or the law to govern emissions and make them Euro 6 standard, yeah, that's not going to happen for a while. But here in Europe, it's happening quite a lot by the look of it. And another thing that I've noticed is there are some electric boats beginning to appear. The other night, we were supposed to go out on an electric boat, but it turned out to be a diesel-powered one. Yeah, I wasn't happy about that. But there are electric boats plying their trade on the waterways, which are quite extensive around Amsterdam, as I'm sure you're well aware. So there you go. It's a quick summary on Amsterdam. I'm going to be heading up to Norway soon, so I'll try and do a little bit on what's happening in Norway. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget, click that like and subscribe button below, please. It's very helpful for me and it doesn't cost you anything. And I'll see you all very soon.